My God, if there's a really difficult time to navigate, it's your 20s. I recently turned 40. I said 40. You're 80. That's better. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 things I wish I knew in my 20s from a 40-year-old. So here goes. So number 1, be yourself. You know, it's funny, when I was in my 20s, I would often just be out trying to please people. Always trying to conform, always trying to fit in. I mean, it's just interesting. You're so unbelievably agreeable. At least I was in my 20s. So if somebody asks you, you know, what did you think of that? And you go, oh, yeah, that's really interesting. I agree with you. Oh, you're nodding your head. Oh, you're so unbelievably agreeable, I think, in your 20s. You're just so keen to fit in, to conform, to have people like you ultimately. And I think one of the things that I wish I'd learned in my 20s is just to be myself. If I had views, don't be afraid to express them. At the end of the day, they're only opinions and everybody's entitled to their own, aren't they? You know, so I think in your 20s, it's really important to just stand for something. What do you believe in? You know, I just think, you know, some of those things around being yourself is, if you like going out and having a good time, great. If you're not, if you like staying in, you're maybe more introverted, you like reading a book, or maybe you like playing video games or whatever it may be, just admit it, like, be yourself. I think that's a really, really good trait to have. And at the end of the day, you can't please everyone, so just be yourself. Number 2, health is number 1, really. Oh my goodness. In my 20s, I thought I was Superman. I literally would be out playing football almost every single day. I would be training in the gym. I'd be doing all sorts. And then on top of that, I would be eating the most obscure crap that you can probably think of, whether that's pizzas, kebabs, burgers, chips, all sorts of stuff, potato crisp, everything. Just chuck it in there, but it's okay, because I'm going out for a run, or I'm going to the gym, or I'm going to play football or soccer, and I'd be sleeping all sorts of irregular hours. And what you realize is actually all of that does long-term untold damage really to your body. Your body gets used to not sleeping as much. It doesn't really like it, and it starts to react. You start to age quicker and all these things. And I think in my 20s, I just wish I'd taken my health a little bit more seriously. Now, I was fortunate enough to not have any long-term health problems, but really, I think what I should have done in my 20s is start to get used to the fact that you should eat healthily, you should exercise regularly, and you should be going to bed at the same time if you can every night, and getting at least 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. All of these things are going to help you immensely. Number 3, limit alcohol consumption. Oh my God, I just think the amount of drinking I used to do of alcohol in my 20s was just unreal. I mean, it'd be nights out when I was, you know, at university. We would literally be doing 16, 17 pubs and bars in a row, because that was the order of the day. You know, throwing up, not really being able to function. I think having a hangover, but just carrying on and doing it again. And it was only because you had to go to work from Monday to Friday that you really limit it. But the weekends, oh my goodness, literally living for the weekend. And I think looking back now on my 20s from being a 40-year-old, I wish I'd limited my alcohol more. My God, my wallet would have survived as well. The amount of money I spent on nights out, you'd easily be spending here in the UK and London 100, 200, 300 pounds in one evening just on alcohol. Only to what? Number 4, invest and tuck money away. This is one of the best ones you can do in your 20s. The power of compounding, as Albert Einstein used to call it, the 8th wonder of the world. That is interest upon interest upon interest. If you keep investing and you're earning and you're compounding your wealth and your money. I was fortunate enough to put some money away in my 20s, albeit not enough. I didn't earn enough, and I should have probably gone out to earn more, and found jobs that did that, or investments or opportunities. But actually, I think the power of compounding, looking back now, had I done that, 20 years of compounding at good rates of return, I would have been way ahead of what I am now. And so I think if you're in your 20s, definitely start tucking money away. Whether that's, you know, if you're in a job and they're offering you a pension or some sort of superannuation scheme, you should be doing that, because you're young. At the end of the day, you can ride out cycles up and down. When you're much older, you're much more risk averse. You want to protect your wealth because you don't want to go into retirement if that's what you want to do. having a lot less money. But when you're in your 20s, if the market tanks, it doesn't really matter, because as long as it's coming back and recovers, you're fine. You just keep adding to it. Definitely invest and definitely tuck your money away so it grows in your 20s, because it will certainly pay off. Compounding, amazing. Number 5, date a lot. I can't stress this one enough. I was really fortunate, actually. I dated a few girls. I went out with a few girls. It was nice. I had a couple of long-term relationships before I met my beautiful wife of 11 years. We've been together 15. But I was lucky. I know a lot of people who have been dating, who didn't date enough, or didn't really find the right person, but they probably didn't date enough. I think the thing is, in your 20s, it is about experimentation. It's about figuring out who you are and what you want. And really, are you finding a partner that is like you, compatible with you, gets you, you get them? And I think the only way you can probably do that, unless you're really lucky, is you date a lot. So go out, date a lot, figure out what's out there. It's a marketplace at the end of the day. Everybody's doing the same. Go out there, date loads, meet loads of people. And I think what you'll do is, like any good funnel, you're going to narrow down exactly who the people are that you really want to be with. And hopefully they want to be with you. But it is a game of numbers. So get out there, date loads, and I'm sure you're going to end up finding a fantastic partner. And given you've hung around to the end, I want to tell you that whilst it's really important in your 20s, and these are the things you should be doing, enjoy it. Life is short. Like I said, I've just turned 40, and I look back on the last 20 years of my life with a lot of fond memories. But had I done more of the stuff that I mentioned in this video, I probably would have had an even better life. So now I'm looking ahead at my next 20 years when I'm 60 and, retiring or whatever. I'm going to do more of these things because I think it's really important. I think if you want to live a fulfilling life, and remember, we only have one life, so make the most of it. Go out, enjoy it, but live by some principles, and I think you're going to do fantastically more. So to wrap up, life's short. Remember that. I know it's a cliche, but if you go out and you live by some principles and you really go and push at it in your 20s, I promise you, by the time you're my age, you're going to look back and go, I'm so glad I made those choices and I did those things, because boy, have they paid off. I'm in a fantastic position, and I'm really looking forward to the following 20 years of my life, and let's see what that brings. Because at the end of the day, we're all here just making things up as we go along anyway. No one's really figured this out, but there are certainly patterns, there are certainly principles that you can follow, and I hope you do. The other thing I really want you to do is, if you've enjoyed this video, please do subscribe. I really appreciate it. It really helps me, and when I release new videos, you'll be notified of them. And don't check out some of my other videos as well in my pipeline. And remember, enjoy it. And until the next time, see ya.